best thing I've ever tasted in my life, I have to say.
Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, come along with me as I prepare both lunch and dinner. I'll be sharing 4 delicious recipes that my kids and family absolutely love. These meals are easy to make and I'm sure you'll enjoy them just as much as we do. So without further ado, let's get started. For lunch, I'm going to make my mother-in-law's easy chicken masala, a simple recipe with just a few steps. It's an old favorite of mine and I always turn to it when I need something quick or when I'm not really in the mood to cook. For this recipe, I marinated the chicken with red chili powder, turmeric powder and salt. What's great about this dish is that you don't need onions, no sauteing of onions required, which is great. Just garlic and tomatoes. So here I'm chopping the tomatoes. Then in a pan, I heated some coconut oil and added chopped garlic. I think it would be better if we add crushed garlic, but if you have chopped, that's fine, you can use that too. And after about 2 minutes of cooking, I tossed in some curry leaves and sauteed them briefly. Next, I added chopped tomatoes. Now, if you have the time, it's even better to peel the tomatoes first, as this helps them break down more easily into a smooth masala. But on this day, I was feeling a little bit lazy, so I just chopped them with the skin on. So after sauteing, I added some salt and let the tomatoes cook down until they were completely soft and mushy. You can actually cook this in a pressure cooker, which I love because it makes the chicken super tender. Once the tomatoes had softened, I added the marinated chicken, covered the pan and let it cook on low flame for about 30 minutes. While the chicken was cooking, I prepped the batter for ari dosa. This is my mom's easy instant dosa recipe, which is great because it doesn't require any soaking of rice, super quick and convenient. I'll show you how to make it in just a bit. I had to switch from my Smeg blender as the jar is leaking badly and need to be serviced, so I brought back my trusty old KitchenAid blender, which is honestly my favorite. My yellow blender has always been super reliable. Now back to the dosha. For this recipe, I'm adding cooked rice, roasted patri pudi and water to a blender. Then I just blend everything together and blend it into a smooth loose batter. The chicken is completely cooked now and I'm just reducing the gravy. This dish doesn't have much gravy. It's more of a thick masala consistency and that's it. The chicken masala is ready. After that, I thought of making a dessert to enjoy after lunch. My kids absolutely love mango sago. Actually, we all do, but I bought everything to make this dessert except for the main ingredient, mangoes. So I decided to make blueberry sago pudding instead. So first I cooked the sago and then in a blender I added some blueberries. If I had strawberries, I would have definitely used them instead, but I only had blueberries. And I really wanted to make this dessert. So I blended the blueberries with a bit of milk and strained the mixture. Straining isn't necessary, but I did it to remove the skin. After that, I added a can of coconut milk and mixed it. Then I added the cooked sago into it. To give it more texture, I added soaked chia seeds and a little bit of condensed milk. Just a small amount, not too much. I also tossed in a few extra blueberries for some added freshness and then I refrigerated it. Then it was time for everybody to come back from school and work, so I started cooking the dosha. The process is super simple. Just pour the batter onto a very hot tawa and swirl the pan to spread it evenly. Then brush a bit of ghee over the dosha. You don't need to flip it, but you can if you prefer. I usually just fold the dosha once it's cooked and take it off the tawa. And then it was lunchtime. Everybody sat down to enjoy the meal, and alhamdulillah, it was a hit with the whole family.
The best. So good.
Then I served the blueberry sago dessert to everyone. Personally, I prefer the mango sago, but the little ones really enjoyed it. They've got quite the sweet tooth and they were very happy with this version too.
This is mine. It's so yummy.
Next, it was time for dinner. Tonight, I'm making prawn dumplings with chili oil. Hamad has been asking me to make dumplings for a while, and I kept postponing it out of laziness. But today, I finally decided to make them. Instead of my usual chicken dumplings, I went with prawns this time. So, for the filling, I chopped the prawns and added ginger garlic paste, lots of spring onions, soy sauce, black pepper, a little salt, sesame oil, and chopped green chilies. I usually add red chili flakes, but since I'm serving this to my little ones too, I kept it mildly spicy. For those who want extra heat, they can always add the chili oil. Speaking of chili oil, I made a fresh batch today, and honestly, it's the best chili oil ever. I'm so obsessed with it. I put it on everything. So I really recommend you guys make this chili oil. You can use this in a variety of dishes and it's so full of flavor. All the recipe links will be there in my description. So, whichever recipe you want, just tap on the link and you'll get to the detailed recipe. Then I got to the part I'm most lazy about, rolling the dough for the dumplings. Making the dough and rolling it out is definitely the most time consuming part. I wish I could find ready made dumpling wrappers in the supermarket here in Kuwait, but I haven't come across them yet. If I ever find them, I definitely use them and make dumplings more often. For now, I just roll the dough out super thin and cut it into small squares. Then I place the filling in the center and shape the dumplings. I don't know how to do the fancy dumpling folds, so I just wrap them into little pouches. It's much easier for me that way. After that, I just steam them. After steaming the dumplings, I like to fry them in a little bit of oil to get that crispy bottom. So I add some oil to a pan and place all the dumplings in. Then I pour about a tablespoon of water and close the lid. This way, while they fry and get that nice crispy base, the top part stays soft and doesn't dry out. I then served these dumplings to my dumpling lover Hamad, and he definitely approved. You can hear what he thinks. That's all for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your family and friends and leave a comment down below. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Until next time, bye.
How's this? The best thing I've ever tasted in my life, I have to say. 10 times better than the chicken momos you made.
I want.
good?
Yeah.